In this movie, we'll look at creating a little more robust or accurate lip sync animation using a freeware that's out there called Papagayo. There's several types of software that are out there that are made specifically for artists who want to lip sync animation type of content. Some of those cost money. Papagayo doesn't. It's actually supposed to ship with Anime Studio Pro. I believe I actually had to download mine separately, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. We've got our same robot animation in here as we've been working with in the preceding several movies, but I took his mouth out and all the keyframes with it. And we're going to come up to File, Import. We'll come down to Mouths. And you'll notice that we've got several to choose from, different types of cartoon mouths. Now you can make your own and actually save them into this folder so you have them available for projects you're working on, but there are some specific requirements they have to have. I'm going to go ahead and open Mouth 2 here. I'll select number 1 keyboard shortcut and move that layer down. Not quite a robotic mouth, but hey, it's a cartoon. It'll work for us. Since I had the actual robot layer selected when I made that choice, it has inserted the mouth into the headbone layer, so we have this switch layer. We can tell by the icon right now. If I disclose everything in this switch layer and we go ahead and take a look at it, there are a whole bunch of layers with strange little names like A, I, O, E, U. These are actually different mouth shapes for those vowels and consonants. The reason this is important is when we hop over to Papagayo, these become very important because it's a conventional way to go ahead and represent these certain phonemes, is what it's called, and then at rest there. If you create your own mouth set, it needs to abide by these same rules. There's some specific documentation for that in the actual Anime Studio Pro documents if you want to take a look at that. But let's hop over to Papagayo. It's an interesting little program when you open it up. Where do you get it if you don't have it? I'll open the About Papagayo here. It's made by a company called Lost Marble. If you go to the Smith Micro site, you actually have to search for it on their site to get it. I think they're still overhauling their site as of this recording. Maybe you'll be able to link to it. The links in the documentation that came with mine actually point to a location that's no longer there. So all you need to do is go lostmarble.com and you'll be able to find that. Or you can do a search for Papagayo and I'm sure you'll find it that way. I'll go ahead and close that. Well, the first thing that you do with Papagayo is import an audio file just like we did when we were working with Anime Studio Pro. I'll go ahead and animate the exact or import the exact same audio file. And we'll see we get a waveform that looks very similar to the one that we already had in Anime Studio Pro when we were working with that. The next thing I want to do is name this, and I'll name this Bot. The reason you would want to do this is that this software gives you the ability to go ahead and create different files that we'll use in anime for multi-dialogue. If you've got 3 characters and they're all talking, this is the kind of tool you'll want to use because you can't do that easily in Anime Studio. So we can next choose a mouth. We've got mouth 1, mouth 2. This looks very similar to the one we've got. We'll have to take a look at it and see if that works, and it is at 24 frames a second. Now let's listen to this.
I can't believe I'm making my character talk. This is incredible.
And we've got that. We need to enter that text to help the program figure out what's going on. There you go. Now we'll ask for a phonetic breakdown on this. I'll choose English. The program will think about it for just a moment. And of course we've got Spanish and Italian in there. I'll go ahead and use these conventions right here which match the conventions that are in the file. I'll select OK. And now we get a very interesting presentation. We see the audio file, we see the typewritten word up at the top in a green bar. Then we see the individual words broken into their own yellow bars that span a certain amount of time that we're going to have to adjust to make it work. Finally, down here at the bottom, we get all these little short bars that have the letter A, E. These are actually the ones that connect back over to the layers in Anime Studio Pro. So this FV coincides with an FV layer in that switch set that we'll be using in Anime Studio. So the first thing we need to do here is grab this top layer, and you always work from the top down. I'll click on it and actually drag it over to where the audio file starts. Now I can see that I've got some work to do. Let me go ahead and zoom in just a little bit on this. We'll scroll over. We can play through to see how accurate it is right now.
I can't believe I'm making my character talk. This is incredible.
See? We have got missing audio going on, and it's over here at the end. So now that I've started this audio file, I need to go ahead and come over here to grab this side of it. And notice how it pulls it all over. Let's come back. We can see that the front is still at the front of the audio file, but now it has stretched out this information across the entire audio file that we're working with. Now the audio file itself is a little bit longer, and this is where you do a little specific tune-up. We'll start moving to the next layer down right here, and you can grab individual parts of these and move them. So we'll just do a little quick adjustment here. I'll drag that over. There's always a little bit of tweaking that goes on. This isn't a precise type of tool. It takes a little hands-on, but that's okay. So as I drag that over. Now let's give that a try.
I can't believe I'm making my character talk. This is incredible.
And we still have a little tune-up to do.